Laborda. Please, Josep, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Albert. Good morning, everyone. I'm so pleased to be here with you all today, with those of you who came to Casa SEAT, this wonderful space, and also all of you that are attending this very important event online.
Yeah, the button, yes.
So as coordinator of the project, of the Molière project, let me first give you some facts and figures about the project. Here you see the topic to which we applied with our idea of combining Galileo geolocation services with blockchain technologies in the urban mobility space, which is a great challenge for us to solve some of the most pressing challenges in urban mobility these days, and also in interurban mobility, let me say. This is an innovation action, meaning that it has a very go-to-market approach, as you will learn in a moment. We are not here to theorize about blockchain, Galileo, and everything, but just to bring innovative solutions that solve actual real problems facing urban mobility. We have a budget of around 3 million euros, and the project will last for 2 years. It started in December last year, so it has been running for a bit more than 3 months now. And the partners in the Molière consortium that are actively involved in this hackathon are, of course, as it was mentioned by Albert, obviously Factual as a coordinator, but also Carnet as responsible, among other important parts of the project, of the dissemination and outreach of the project, which is a very important part of this project, to let all of our ecosystem, all the stakeholders know about what technology has to bring and how to solve shared problems. Then we have, of course, SEAT, who is a partner that is hosting today us here. And one of the most exciting reasons why we have SEAT in this project is because they are offering and deploying new innovative mobility services in the market, and they will be users of the technology that we're going to develop in this project. Then we have IOMOB, a thriving startup, who are mostly responsible of the technological platform that we're going to build, and last but not least, actively involved in this specific hackathon. We have more partners, but particularly involved in this hackathon, we have Osborne Clark, which is a legal firm, who will help us understand which are the legal challenges that we have to tackle and to address while we build all of our technology. So our vision is that, well, a new mobility paradigm is needed, with cities like Barcelona, for example, and many other flooded by new mobility services. It makes the urban space very crowded with competing mobility services, which need to find their space and their balance and their good combination with public transport. So whenever there are moving vehicles, moving travelers, geolocation is absolutely critical. And here in this project, we will make sure that we leverage the highest accuracy and broad availability of the Galileo system, which, as our project officer Alberto just mentioned before, is fully available, is free to use, and is more and more ubiquitous in every hardware involving fleets and also in your smartphones. And with the main ambition of developing what we call the Wikipedia of public transport and new mobility data, so which is quite a mission, quite a big plan that we have in this project, where we want to break the mobility data silos that are still there, where there are many players that generate tons of data, but for one reason or another, because there is lack of trust, because there is lack of security procedures in place, because there are competitive issues, legal issues, whatever, all of this data, unfortunately, is still in silos. So this project is one more who is going to address this big challenge of breaking mobility data silos. And we're going to do it through the pursuit of the following main objectives, which is fueling mobility as a service or shared mobility or new mobility services with data where there is a clear component of geolocation that comes from Galileo, where we want to highlight the competitive advantage that it implies using and leveraging this Galileo-sourced geolocation data. Also, we want to improve road safety and sustainability. With road safety, there are many different applications. Just to mention a couple of them, for example, you can imagine that all of these micro-mobility devices that are more and more present in our cities, you might want to implement, for example, geofencing applications where you want to restrict the speed limit of a given e-scooter in a given certain area where there is, I don't know, a hospital or a school or a residential area. You want to restrict the speed limit there, or you might want to control where all of these vehicles are allowed to park, especially when these are deployed under free-floating schemes. You don't want users to park wherever in the city because it generates, conflict with pedestrians and with other people. So if you want to geolocate accurately where all of these new mobility devices are allowed to operate, you need to have accurate geopositioning, and that's exactly what Galileo will bring us. We want to make sure that everyone knows about the advantages. Also, we want to enable new business models, we want to enable new monetization schemes. Again, one of the holy grails of mobility is making data, of course data has a value, everyone is well aware of that. What is a bit more difficult once you have broken those silos is to monetize data. So enable these new business models is quite challenging, and because we have blockchain as the underpinning technology of our mobility data marketplace, we will make sure that through smart contracts we generate these automated payments and automated mechanisms to make the most of the data that we're going to store in this mobility data marketplace. And for example, whenever enforcement is involved, we want to make sure that the Galileo signal is authenticated, and all of this generates the trust among the different players in the ecosystem, and ultimately, whenever payments are involved, everything is as reliable, robust as possible, generating the right conditions for our big plan. And last but not least, we want users to take better mobility choices in the city. I mentioned earlier that in the city you have plenty of options to go from A to B, and you want the users to be well aware of exactly what's available. And for example, you will hear during the morning that one of the challenges that was proposed by SET in particular is where, because there are reflection with buildings, especially in urban environments, geolocation is not always as accurate as we would like it to be, and then this generates eventually some friction with the users. So, because we want to motivate users to not to use their private cars because they are inefficient, they are polluting, whatever, and we want them to take different mobility options. We want to generate this positive behavioral change, and in order to achieve that, we need data. Without data, we're not going to implement any of our ideas, and because through our platform we will make more data available, we will overcome all of these challenges. So that is all from my side. Again, very glad to be here with all of you today, very excited that this hackathon, just to finish, it is a very important part of the project because we have several work packages that I have not described, but let me say that, of course, as with every project, we have a work package to design what the further technical implementation will be about, describe the use cases, the scenarios and everything. And in order to fuel this innovation, in order to inspire the system that we're going to develop later in the project, we want to engage with innovators, with the hackers in the end, to give us all of the ideas and to address the challenges that have been early identified by the Molière partners. That is all from my side. Thank you so much.
Perfect, Josep. Thank you for your